Now I'm going to role play with you so you really get an understanding of how important this mastering the communication part is. I'm just going to go and just pretend like I met a guy named John, and I'm going to say, John, let me ask you a question. Now, I'll pause right there. Let me ask you a question as a mild position. John, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, John. That is positioning. That's a mild position before the question. You understand? Some people launch right into it. Hey, man, if the money was right. Hey, man, you looking to make money? Hey, man, and it's like, whoa. Some of you are probably looking at that, looking at right here what I just said, and you recognize, and that's what you might be doing. And it's an abrasive approach when you launch into your closing question. Well, John, let me ask you a question. If the money was right, would you consider a full-time career change or a part-time one? Nice. Now, who would you ask that question to? A prospect that you've engaged already in a conversation. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. But you have to first master the communication part, right? Well, John, let me ask you a question. If the money were right, if the money was right, would you consider a full-time career change or a part-time one? Nice. Guys, you see the way that sounds? Very nice, not abrasive, not intrusive, not forceful, mild. Opening, and then a question. Let me give you the next one. Mary, quick question for you. You see that? Mary, quick question for you. Are you still keeping your options open for bigger and better opportunities? And if you want to elaborate that question, you could add in management, if they're in management, if they're in sales, whatever. You attach the last section to whatever they do now. But generally, Mary, a quick question for you. Are you still keeping your options open for bigger and better opportunities? Isn't that nice? Guys, isn't that nice? Say yes. Here's a good one. Bill, I've been meaning to ask you a question. You're not the kind of person that's not interested in earning extra income, are you? Now, that's a double negative. Bill, I've been meaning to ask you a question. You're not the kind of person that's not interested in earning extra income, are you? What's the only answer Bill can give? The only answer Bill can give is if he's in his right frame of mind is, no, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I am the kind of person who's interested. Yeah, because you just gave him a double negative question. You said, Bill, you're not the kind of person that's not interested in extra income, are you? Guys, think about this for a second. If you were asked that question, now put aside for a second, you're in the business and you know what we're doing here. But if I met you or if you met somebody else and you're having a brief conversation and you get to know, that person gets to know you a little bit and you break the ice, and you'll see what I mean in a minute about breaking the ice. And if you had that question proposed to you, think about it. Someone proposes the question to you and says, hey, I've been meaning to ask you a question. You're not the kind of person that's not interested in earning extra income, are you? What would you say to that? The only answer you can give is a positive. Well, no, of course I am. No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm always open to hearing about opportunity. Of course, they may say, or you might say, it all depends, but it doesn't matter. The fact is you agree that you are not the kind of person that is not interested in making extra money. Let me give you another one. Hey, Bill, I've been meaning to ask you a question. You're not the kind of person who's opposed to making more money, right? You're not the kind of person that's opposed to making more money, right? What's his answer? No, what do you mean, right? No. What do you mean? No, I'm not opposed. Yeah, I'm not opposed. He has to give a positive answer. A double negative question. Beautiful. Guys, it works beautifully. Beautifully. Here's another one. Yvette. Now this is an assumptive question. It's an assumptive question. You are assuming that the person already is making money doing something else. Because the answer they give you is how you get your foot in the door. You understand? Hey, Yvette, what are you doing these days to generate more income besides your regular job? What are you up to these days that you're generating more income besides your regular job? What do you got going on that you're making extra income besides your regular job? Now, Yvette's going to say, what are you talking about? I'm not doing anything else. Well, then we should talk. Well, it's funny you should say that, Yvette, or any follow-up after that. The point is, Yvette, what are you doing these days to generate additional income? What are you doing to make extra money these days? What are you up to that you're making extra money these days outside of your regular job? Yvette's going to say, well, I'm doing X, Y, Z. Or she say, well, I don't have any. I'm not doing anything to make extra money. The answer she gives, does it really matter? Absolutely not. You've got an answer. It's an open door. Now, you better know what to say next, right? And that's training for probably another time. But the point is, and by now most of you should have a follow-up to these type of questions. But the point is, aren't those 4 lovely questions? The answer is yes. 4 lovely questions. They all incorporate what we spoke about before. A mild position before you ask the question. A double negative in some of them. And by the way, aren't they simple? Aren't they straightforward? Is it a complicated question? Absolutely not. Does it talk about active money management? Absolutely not. Does it talk about building a team? Absolutely not. Talk about financial services? Absolutely not. I would encourage you to memorize, to burn in your brain at least 2 of them and use them. Use them in the way that we're going to talk about next.